What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Blitz, aka Bliss Wizard 2745, aka Chris, and we back with another video. So we got TommyNFG's Everything That Destroyed Gen Z. First thing on this list better be Skibbity Toilet. Just saying, that thing is horrendous, and I know that thing has ruined it because I've seen a video of a kid getting his flu shot and he's praying to Skibbity Toilet like it's God. So let's jump into the video. Like, subscribe, follow me, and let's get started.
No stranger to talking about the absolute bullshit that goes on with every generation. And as society starts to advance, there's always a guarantee of a new generation that's worse than the last. So today we're going to be talking about things that ruined our generation and put us on an unequivocal downfall. And honestly, I'm kind of realizing that I have way too many videos on generations and shit. So this is going to be the last.
I mean, hey, content is content. Like, hey, listen, if you think you have too many videos on it, you could stop. But you're doing a good job, so I say don't stop, Hold up. I gotta set up the phone. Hold on. It's getting dark in here. I gotta set that light up. I gotta put the light on there. It's getting like mad dark in here. So I gotta yeah. Is that right? There we go. Alright. I'll have to shorten that out.
Last one for a while. Buckle in. The first one is a social media app that houses the most beautiful. Okay, cut the drum roll. It's TikTok. I don't think anyone should be surprised by this. Now, coming from someone who started making content on TikTok with the famous Charlie D'Amelio and managed to escape the hey, ain't you that nigga on TikTok allegations? Actually, I do still get that, but I'll take it as a compliment that you know me from somewhere. I can't fully start off with hate on the Brain Dead app. Like, there is things I've learned that are actually useful.
Why did he bring this nigga up? No. Oh my god. I really thought do not bring that Life and Scars nigga up. Because if he does, we're cooked. God damn it. I mean, this one was good of us, I guess.
How to not get fucked in the ass.
I know all the memes about kids' attention span being fraud to the max are mostly jokes, but I genuinely think governments somewhere need to do some test studies of this stuff because it can't be okay. If I was growing up as a kid with unlimited content I could scroll forever with until the end of time, I probably would have sat there like the Gen Alpha kids too, honestly. I really knew this attention span was a problem when I would be talking with some of my friends in a Discord, and at the slightest pause or stop of our conversation, I hear the loudest blast of TikTok sounds blasting my ear because a nigga doesn't know how to mute his mic. It's like someone who has to get their vape hit in the next 5 minutes or they'll start going insane. And speaking of vaping, man, I really thought this smoking was gonna be nipped in the bud with our generation. But not only has it gotten worse, people be considering you a loser if you don't do it. Like, when did we get to the point in this generation that if you're sober and hanging out with friends somewhere, you're a boring person? If you're genuinely
hold on, no. Being a loser if you don't vape or smoke is kind of crazy. Cause like that's purely a choice thing. First off, being called a loser for vaping is like being called a loser for being perfectly healthy. Cause you, my nigga, are putting metal in your lungs. That's not good. Being called a loser for not smoking, that's completely stupid. That still hurts your lungs. Like, it's like being called a loser for not drunk driving. I don't.
one of those people that makes fun of someone for just wanting to be sober hanging out somewhere, you're a loser. But the main thing I think of vaping is, y'all never got scared of those smoking ads they would play on TV as a kid? You know, the ones with the lady and the hole in her neck who would always be going like, "Here's how we go on the night. First you gotta put the voice box to your throat. I walk in the kitchen to make a sandwich." That gave me some psychological scars, dude. Like, I know she definitely dropped dead a year after those ads. So for you vaping fiends right now, that's the future I hope y'all are prepared for. I'm gonna be trying to put in some golf balls into them holes in y'all's necks. It should never be to the point where kids use their bathroom breaks in school to hit their vapes. This is why our education is on an absolute spike of a downfall. At least back then, when kids would smoke cigarettes, everyone in a 5-mile radius would catch the smell. With vapes as purified air, the most you're smelling is mango flavor, so you're not getting caught. That means little Timmy who starts vaping in 4th grade is going to continue until his inevitable death at 30 years old. The next
Nah, giving a kid a vape is nah. That's crazy. See, that's crazy stuff. That is actually crazy. Having that is crazy.
thing we got is OnlyFans. Y'all know how grandmothers and great-grandmothers are seen as the most wholesome figures of existence? Sitting in rocking chairs, and knitting sweaters, and baking cookies. I've really been thinking in the future, what the f are grandmothers gonna be
Did my video glitch?
figures? Y'all know how those inevitable
No, it didn't glitch. Something's wrong here. Does that have to do with my headphones? Hold on, no. Let me just on real quick. Let me check something.
years old. The next thing we got
Okay,
is
that was odd.
OnlyFans. Y'all know how grandmothers and great-grandmothers are seen as the most wholesome figures of existence? Sitting in rocking chairs, and knitting sweaters, and baking cookies. I've really been thinking in the future, what the f are grandmothers gonna be looked at like? Like, are they gonna be sitting in rocking chairs and telling the little kids the story of how back in 2024 they took big black number 7 at the skyline view of Miami, and how you should always enjoy the beauty of life because in that moment I did. At the same time, I can't really hate on them chasing an obvious bag in their face, and the dudes who buy the OnlyFans.
That's what I'm saying. You can't hate on people who grab their bag. Like if they get their bag for something, you gotta hate on the people who give them the money for it. That's why I didn't hate on people who did the AI thing. It was cringe. And I really felt no real respect towards them, but I couldn't hate on them. The absolute people I disrespected and had pure hatred towards is the niggas that gave them 10 bands for sucking on a virtual glizzy.
Are actually all to blame, really. But my god, these OnlyFans are so unstandable. One of my safest havens on the internet is meme pages I follow online. And every time I see one of these OnlyFans hoes randomly pop up in a meme page I'm following, I immediately want to go berserk. Like, I'm not trying to see your full asshole spread in a meme page I'm following called Cute Funny Dog Memes. People would already be on their incognito tabs if they wanted to see that. And the fact that it's just commonplace for a girl to open an OnlyFans on her 18th birthday is weird. Because I hope these girls know the dudes that are buying these when they turn 18 are not in their age range. They already know how to work the system for free. It's old ass dudes sitting there with sweat dripping from their face just waiting for the day to pop up. Your whole life being ruined before it even started is crazy. She could legit still be in high school and have that open. And unless you're a celebrity or famous, then yeah, you're not making any money from that OnlyFans. Shout out to
Like, no, dead ass. We're normal. People are normalizing the fact that an 18-year-old girl can just rock an OnlyFans as soon as it hits her birthday. Like, no. Hello? No. I'm not letting that shit fly. Maybe like listen, maybe if it was 19 or 20, fine. 19 or 20. But as soon as you hit your 18th birthday, as soon as you hit the 18th birthday, you're just like, yay, we can run OnlyFans, we can make millions. No, you're not. Even if you make bands, who's the bands coming from? You know who it's coming from. Like seriously. I was trying to think this light is worse than it actually is. It's not. Whatever. I'm taking that shit off. I don't know. I'll just take it off.
All the women in my life who chose the path of working hard careers and getting where they are. Because you could have got a bad spawn like being Lana Rhodes' kid or an upcoming Bad Baby's kid. I could put a parlay bet that them kids are probably not making it alive past the age of 12. And since we're speaking of OnlyFans, let's talk about the
What's wrong with my audio today?
OnlyFans for men. Male upcoming Bad Baby.
Huh. That's odd. My audio is being weird right now. Let me do something real quick. Let me just get my other headphone. Yeah, like I think this thing was actually dead. This thing was probably dead or something. What? Heck? Okay, see, yeah, no. My audio is just really weird right now. What is going on with this thing?
Parlay bet that them kids are probably not making it alive past the age of 12. And since we're speaking of OnlyFans, let's talk about the OnlyFans for men. Male podcast. I've already made videos on both of these already, so I'm not gonna go too in.
Yeah. We're not looking too good, are we? We aren't looking too good because of those. I'll be honest with you. It's not looking good for us. But I don't even have high hopes. I think we're fucked. Male society's fucked. That's just what it is, bro.
Depth. But at this point, there is nothing to say on a male podcast already that's already been said. Ever since these started popping off, I've already heard the same things every time. To be a high value man, you need 6 figures and a man cheating as a woman is not the same. If you cry in front of your girl, you might as well get a divorce. The milk's been sucked out the cow's titties, man. You gotta venture into something else. And I think it's kind of falling off, and dudes are realizing that maybe watching male podcasts all day instead of actually going outside and getting some not the way to do it. Do you ever notice the dudes that watch these people constantly almost never have relationships? Honestly, there's not a single male podcaster I could ever actively watch in my YouTube rotation. And the worst thing to me is a lot of these dudes be damn near middle-aged men arguing about this. This is the type of talk you should
see, and it's crazy because someone because I forgot who it was I talked to, whether it was a friend or just a friend of a friend. They were like, do you listen to any podcasts? They present me with one of those podcasts. And I'm like, no, I don't listen to those type of podcasts. Those are just like terrible. He's like, have you listened to any podcasts at all? I just told him honestly, I listened to the Stiff Socks podcast by Trevor Wallace and Michael Blaustein. It was a comedy podcast. As he said, that shit is like terrible. It provides no manly advice, no advice to help you get any play. Like, I shouldn't need advice to get play. No one should. Realistically, you probably could use advice. See, no, you could use advice, but what those things teach you, not advice. Completely the opposite. Those things teach you the thing that's hurting the male community in general, or at least our reputation. You wonder why they'll say all men are pigs? These podcasts.
Should hear from a college gym locker room. Y'all niggas gotta worry about starting families. But I know for a fact every guy watching this knows at least one dude that's an insane rider to these guys. The next thing we got is COVID. Okay, breathe in and breathe out. I wanted to ease the list a little down with something we couldn't control. I swear, it doesn't even feel like it's 2024. I'm still in the same world of 2020. It's baffling. How are we closer to 2030 than 2016? COVID caused the Thanos blip, and ever since, I've been derealized from life. Everyone's social skills after COVID got nerfed a solid 10 centuries. And society at this point is the most antisocial it's ever been. Like, why is there kids out there genuinely scared to ask the cashier for ketchup packets? Y'all got it lost. Standing like he not tying asking for some barbecue sauce with your fries. And I blame COVID because I swear I don't remember it being this bad before. You don't gotta be super extroverted and introduce yourself to every person you meet on the street like you're Willy Wonka, but at least ask for the damn sauce packets. Also, our education from COVID times is definitely going to have a detrimental effect on us in the future. Like, let me ask everybody right here, do you have a genuine core school lesson moment you remember from Zoom class? Nah, nigga, that was for nap time. Society would have been better taking off 2 years of school than coming back to learn from where we left off. Now I understand why it's always been favored to do in-person classes rather than online classes. And for assignments, not a single person was actually doing that. This was prime Warzone time. Prime Among Us time. No one was actually doing their work without cheating unless if they had.
Not gonna lie, bro. In the middle of a class, wanna know what I did? Xenoverse. I grinded the Xenoverse 2 story twice during my classes. Twice. And I had school every day in high school. There wasn't like off days or nothing. So every single day I was in class, but I was also grinding the Xenoverse story. I put my laptop in front of the TV or like next to the TV. I had my camera on, kinda there, and I would just have my controller below me, and it looked like I was doing Zoom. It looked like I was doing Zoom call, like answering the questions, but really, I was mixing up people.
The next thing we got is canceling. Now, we all know canceling. I don't really gotta explain it at all, and I have a whole video on it. But I know Gen Alpha's gonna make fun of Gen Z and millennials for being such with this shit. I would say the peak of cancellation times was like 2016 to 2022.
Holy hell, were those the worst times to be on the internet.
I'll never forget when Twitch banned the words of virgin and simp because people got offended by it. Me personally, I think they were trying to defend their main source of income, but that's just a theory. I miss you, Matt Pat. I'm so happy canceling has died down because if it was still like that to this day, I know I wouldn't be able to handle it. It was kind of weird that the solution was just ignore people on Twitter. Who would have thought? The next thing we got is makeup. Now, hold on. Let me explain it, okay? I obviously could give a rat's ass if you want to put on the makeup that you bought with your own money. F it, you want to look like those weird-looking UK girls' makeup that's damn near blackface, go for it. But because of social media, it's causing little girls to be insecure about their looks. All they see is those videos that go like, doing my makeup tutorial plus story time. And they get fed that shit 24/7, so they think they gotta look like that all the time. I only learned this in high school too, because my friend always had her makeup on professionally every day. Like, you would think she was going to a makeup artist before school every day.
Nah, facts. Like, there was... Nah, facts. This girl in high school, we literally were wondering why the hell she looked like one of those clowns. One of those... Yeah, I forgot what they were called. In China, it was the specific ones in China, but we called it clowns. We said clowns, but dead ass, cause it was like so damn obvious that they spent at least an hour on the makeup, and there wasn't even a ceremony or nothing that day. It was just another fucking school day.
And she told me that she wakes up 2 hours before school just to get ready. High school's already way too early and you're adding extra time to that? And I think it's much more of a common thing that happens than guys think. Even on social media, most women will post some type of filter with their photos on even if you can't tell. Nowadays, there's even reports of kids in like elementary school and middle school doing this. And I blame these damn TikTok.
That's crazy.
Getting all dressed in the makeup department for an activity like school sounds so tiring. You should be pulling up instead with funeral clothes on. The next thing we've got is men versus women. Now, I know this might sound confusing to place here because duh, it's always been a thing. But never have I seen a generation like ours have women hating men more than ever and men hating women more than ever. So I prepared this controversial statement targeted towards the internet on this topic.
Let me speak first. Let me just speak my piece first. I need to go that back. Rewind 5 seconds so it's brighter. All right. Let me speak my piece first. Women hate men because of what other men have said. And men have hated women because of what those women have said in response to the other men that we don't give a shit about. Therefore, in the end, however, there are also the women who don't realize that those men are just spewing bullshit and categorize the men who don't spew that or believe that bullshit with those men who spew and believe that bullshit. So in the end, both sides are at fault and fuck all.
So I prepared this controversial statement targeted towards the internet on this topic. Excuse me, everyone. Men need women, and women need men. I know, so brave of me. I'll take my Nobel Peace Prize to go. There should be no reason 12-year-old girls are saying all men need to be put to death, and there should be no reason 12-year-old boys are saying all women are objects. Growing up, the most I thought as a kid was girls had cooties. And most of the time, the people who are extreme on each of these sides base everything off like a couple of experiences. Then they end up in a rabbit hole they can never leave because it digs them deeper and deeper. Which is why you have those extreme hate all men girls and those extreme loser podcast dudes. It's funny because I swear we were taught growing up not to base things just off one experience. With their logic, if someone who's white has a couple of black people do some bad things to them, they could just go in public and be like, you know what? Maybe I do hate all black people. That's y'all, by the way. But it's annoying when stuff like this bleeds into real life. I've met people from both of these spectrums, and I'll tell you, it's not a fun experience. I'm never really around them for too long. I'm proud to say I've never said some TikTok brainwashing like I hate all women. It's one thing to joke about it, but to genuinely say I hate all men or I hate all women is very sad. And it feels like with
Yeah. Because, like, let me finish this out first.
our generation, I see it a lot more than I should. And the last thing we got is slang. Now, it's no doubt that our generation has the most slang than every other one combined, but that is the main problem. Slang gets way too overused nowadays, and it's kind of ruined the appeal to it. With early 2010 slang, it felt like people was saying it for years before it actually got overused. Like, I remember when everyone was saying YOLO, and it went on for a solid amount of time. But nowadays, every word gets so used and abused, it starts to lose its meaning. Let's take, for example, glazing. This is one I noticed in real time. When people first started saying glazing about last year to 2 years ago, it was because someone was actually idling someone to the point of no return. But nowadays, if you say someone even inspired you online, you're getting a barrage of glazing comments.
That's fucking facts. No, that's actually facts. Cause no, that's facts. Cause someone asked me why I hate NBA YoungBoy so much. I fucking hate NBA YoungBoy. I hate that nigga because somebody, one, I don't like his music. Two, I don't like his voice. Three, I don't like his face. And four, I don't like someone I knew was actually glazing him. Like actually made everything about him. When he ran for class president, bro used NBA YoungBoy as his fucking class president poster. Not class president, my bad. Prom king. Or whatever, prom royalty. It was either class president or prom royalty, whichever one it was. They used NBA YoungBoy for it. That I find I found that glazing. I don't know. Maybe it's just because when I was around them, they talked about him every day. But sure. I can even admit I've glazed a couple times. You could say I've glazed a couple of times with the way I've talked about DPS at Sleepy Yash, or Rustage. But at the same time, I'm spreading myself across different artists. I'm not just sticking to one that I mainly like. Like, I have a top artist list. Like, it's like my life isn't about one single artist. I branch out at least. Oh, that one made me pissed off. I'm sorry.
And we could take every single slang and apply the exact same logic to it. And that about wraps everything up. I think I've summed up everything pretty well. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you.
Alright, man. That was the video. Sorry if this one was kind of long because of technical difficulties. Shoot. Wasn't. But, listen. So, he's right. This shit is just terrible. We gotta we can't eliminate him from the internet though, because that would be eliminating free speech in a sense. But At the same time, we gotta find a way to like stop the influence of a lot of this shit. So, with that being said, and also follow, like, subscribe, and check out TommyNFG. And with that being said, with Godspeed, see ya.